Cincinnati, man. What happened? What happened?
Cincinnati. Same old late game situations. Lance Leipold's been pretty open about that this week. It's frustrating.
There's a lot of Cincinnati to mention. I didn't know if you were going with KU, Cincinnati,
I knew
the
what
Reds.
He meant.
I didn't know the Bengals.
I knew what he meant, but for like a half second, I paused and I was like, "Yeah, are you talking about Cincinnati Bengals sucking? We don't really need to talk about them as much anymore, do we?"
Boy, Zach Taylor's going down with that ship, isn't he? Jake Browning's our guy.
Okay. As a Chiefs fan, you should hope they're just good enough where Zach Taylor doesn't get fired.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one. Yeah,
I don't think you want him fired.
The devil that you know is better than the devil you don't know.
Don't we always say you can't get fired if you lose your quarterback, like in the injury? But again, this tends to happen a lot. But
that's not the coach's fault, though.
Right.
It's not,
so
but
you shouldn't get fired, right?
No, the GM's been a disaster.
Correct.
Honestly, that's I don't know who the GM is, but that GM should be fired. I mean, based on how they've built that roster, you have Joe Burrow injury prone, sure, but also you're not protecting him. We all know they invested in Higgins and Chase. Should have only paid one of them. Right. Your defense stinks. They should trade Trey Hendrickson here in the next couple weeks.
Well, he ain't coming back.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. No. I mean that was
walk for free.
But to me, it's not even the GM. It's ownership in that town and with that franchise as to why they are where they are. You're only as good as the top allows you to be. You stink from the neck down. They always tell you. You rot from the head down. And if you have bad ownership, you're not going to have a good franchise no matter how much you try and how many people you put in place. It's still a remarkable thing what Dayton was able to do with Glass lording over this thing for all those years.
So game Monday night, I hate Monday night when it's your team because it's like you get all the prep for the week, but then it's like you got to get through Saturday and Sunday and all that. Fridays don't hit the same, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right. Is it wrong to bet a prop bet that Mahomes throws an interception with the number one turnover team in the NFL with the Jags?
No, I don't think it's wrong. Yeah, I mean, the Jaguars are turning over people at a ridiculous rate
now,
to
again,
this
their
point.
quarterbacks they faced, you know this, Bryce Young, Jake Browning, C.J. Stroud, and
look, I would, but the logic makes
Matt
sense.
Jones.
I'm not going to bet Mahomes to throw a pick, but I totally get why. Like, if there was ever a game, they're an opportunistic defense. I think that the question is, and I'm sure you guys are talking about it all week leading into Monday, is how much is it the schedule and how they perform? Because it's not like the Jags offensively have looked great. Their defense, while they're forcing all those turnovers, some of that is, hey, you're obviously being opportunistic. There's also some luck involved in that. I mean, we've talked about that in Kansas City over the years with the defenses, and sometimes it's just that year you're the offense that's turning it over a little bit more. Some bad breaks, balls are bad up in the air. There's sometimes where defensively you're the team benefiting, and I tend to think that the Jags defense is pretty darn good, but also the rate that they're turning teams over, that's not sustainable. I mean, they're way out in front of everybody in turnover margin. And so I do think some of it is the opponent. And then, the Jags as a team, seeing them as 3-point underdogs, I'm not sold on their offense at all. Liam Cohen, I actually thought was a good hire. I like him quite a bit, even though the whole sign stealing thing was weird, the way he reacted. That made no sense. And the Duval stuff in the presser. But he was brought in to kind of get Trevor Lawrence right. And to this point, Trevor Lawrence has been average at best. I would say ETN's been the whole thing for them, and Brian Thomas is a stud, but he has had a slow start to the season as well. Yeah. So the interception bet, I get why you would make it. I'm not going to bet that, but I get why you make it. I do like the Chiefs to cover the 3 on the road. I think we're about to see the start of a run here for Kansas City.
It's still 3?
It is still 3, depending on the book. It's 3 at FanDuel at least now.
Let me ask you this: we talk about Buffalo too in this equation, right? Their combined record against their opponents is 1-12, right? Enough with Buffalo being this great team. You've played nobody. Same thing with Jacksonville, though. They've played nobody, as you mentioned. How do you factor that in when you're kind of handicapping a game, Alex?
Bob, that's really none of your business.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. I think.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. When you look at some of these games, it has to be part of the equation. Especially early in the season when what was your evaluation on the Jags going into the year and what you thought they were going to be? And for me, if they were winning in a way that's more sustainable, that's how I would weigh it more. Like if Trevor Lawrence was going out there and playing really good football, I would say, wow, Liam Cohen has figured this thing out. That's more sustainable to me than the turnovers. And so when you look at how they're going about doing that and with the opponents and how they played, I don't view it as real as I would another opponent, is what I would say to that.
Right. I don't view it as real either, because the opponent does matter. Like it is who you play. And look, Congratulations to Jacksonville and Buffalo taking advantage of those opponents, stacking wins early in the year. You can't take anything away from them. But I think sometimes it's a false sense of how good a
Depends
team
on the track
may
record
be.
too. I mean,
well,
some
there
of
is
it,
none for Jacksonville
for them, right? Whereas Buffalo, Josh Allen, we know he's the second best quarterback in football, and nobody's really debating that at this point. And so you believe what you're seeing more. You also know that they're going to get better. The Jags, are they going to get better, or this is just who they are?
Right.
I picked them to win their division, so but I didn't think it would be in this way. I thought Trevor Lawrence would get going. I didn't think they'd be carried by their defense and ETN at this point in time. So, I think for that game on Monday night, the spread -3 is intriguing. Also, guys, the team totals. See where you guys are at on each one of these. So the Chiefs over-under as a team is 24.5. I kind of like the Jags team total under. It's 21.5. This Chiefs defense is obviously playing really, really well. So can Jacksonville score more than 21 points against Kansas City? I like that bet more than betting the Chiefs to score over 24.5. I know we're all feeling good about the offense, but just game script and the way the game could go, I think it's more likely the Chiefs hold the Jags to 21 or fewer than still the Chiefs score more than 24.5, just because the defense could be dominant.
Well, you look at the scores, right? The biggest number they've given up this year is 27 points.
That was a different defense.
Exactly, a lot different defense. They gave up 20 to Philadelphia, 9 to the Giants, and then 20, really 13, if you will, to Baltimore the other day. So I love the under bet on that, just because that's not just a small track record this year. It's 33 games now of a track record where this team is giving up 18 points per game, right? And so you factor all of that in. I'll say a younger quarterback in Trevor Lawrence, like Spags is going to outwit this Cohen guy on the sidelines and the quarterback and all that kind of stuff. And so I'm not worried about that. So I love the under there. At 24.5, I'm looking at that over right now for the Chiefs. You're going like 21, 17, 22, 37. At 24.5, I may take the under on that just because that's kind of been the track record. But me being the homer that I am, I'll take the under on the defense and I'll take the over on the offense.
Yeah. I'm going to stay away from the Chiefs team total because if you think the under for both, well, then you might as well bet the under for the game. Yeah, because that's obviously what they're making numbers off of. And
probably like 44.5 or somewhere around there.
Yeah, I think I believe that would be right based off of what they have, the 24.5 and 21.5 for each team, something like that. One other thing just to point out about the Chiefs, you can utilize this if you're live betting, if you're on the Kansas side, soon on the Missouri side, Dusty, I know. When the Chiefs lead early, they're tough to beat, and you're like, well, no bleep, Alex. Well, the numbers are staggering. Kansas City is 65-7, so they win at 90% clip since 2018 if they lead after the first quarter. So if
the what quarter?
First quarter. The Chiefs have a first quarter lead, they are winning 90% of the time.
Best of since when?
2018.
So then if you take the Chiefs to...
Holy crap.
And 30-0 in the last 3 seasons, guys.
So if you think the Chiefs win the game by 3.5 or 3, then you would say that the Chiefs would win the first quarter into that score.
In the last 3 years, they're 30-0 if they're leading after the first quarter. The last time that they lost after leading in the first quarter, unfortunately, was the Bengals AFC title game in 2022.
January 22. So that's the last time they lost after having a first quarter lead? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Like, that's...
Take that, Gary Myers.
Yeah.
So
sort of a dynasty, a small one, you know.
Well, it's not 20 years. We got another 10.
You know, I say to Gary, I'll tell Gary this right now. Yeah. That's right, Gary.
Well.
Yeah.
So prop wise, who's the guy you like on the offense this week for the Chiefs?
So as much as they utilize Xavier Worthy and he didn't find the end zone this past week, I think that's where everybody would like gravitate. I feel that's the only part that is causing me not to want to bet it because I think that's the one that makes the most sense, though.
You're a big go against everybody else guy.
A lot of times I like going against the public. Now, I'll show you there's some numbers on just the spread and how the public's been doing this year. But FanDuel does not have any anytime touchdowns up yet, so I don't have those. I think DraftKings might list a few of them.
They only have like 4 or 5. It was Kelsey,
it's too early in the
Worthy,
week for the Monday night games. We'll find out later on today or tomorrow, so I don't know what the numbers would be in the odds on it. Worthy, because of the amount of touches he got, you like your odds on him finding the end zone, but at the same time, watch that not be the case. So I would look actually. I think as all the talk about Brashard Smith and some more snaps, I'd be curious to see what his number is. If it's only like 2-1, I'm not going to bet it. But if he's 4.5 or 5-1, I think Brashard Smith getting more playing time. And then I think Kareem Hunt, I think based on what he's done, he's shown that he's the guy that's going to get the most carries in the backfield at this point in time.
And then you have the only four that I saw on here was ETN. He's minus like 140.
Yeah.
Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Kelce both at plus 180. So we know where you're going on Monday.
You got Kelce on the board again?
Kelce on the board again. Damn right I am.
Well, with Worthy, everything looked a little easier for him, didn't it?
Worthy on DraftKings was plus 165.
Okay.
So that's all we have right now.
Also pisses Spectre off that I'm going to continue to pick Kelce, but I'm going to live and die with Travis. I think he's still going to have a very
I
big
just keep
year.
picking long shots on our in-office contest.
One has to hit.
Because the way the setup is, it's just $10 of not your real money every week, and you're just trying to.
Who do you have this week?
I'm going Giants defense gets the Saints 8-1.
Oh, I like that.
Strip sack of Spencer Rattler, and then just run it back. Is he still starting, or have they gotten to Tyler Shuck yet?
Can you bet over-unders on tackles for guys?
You can. It's a sick bet, but you can.
Because it's like
think about sweating that out in the game. It's in the third quarter, like Nick Bolton. I need another tackle.
I mean, yeah. Could you imagine that? But it's also like, two tackles are so subjective.
It's like a second and 10 play, and it's like a gain of 5 pulling his tackle. Bob's like, there we go. It's like, what are you excited about, dude?
Yeah, it's like he gained 10 yards on the run. Yeah, but I needed the tackle.
I needed that tackle. Yeah. But tackles are subjective. It's a guy sitting up there in a booth, so that's why I wondered, can you bet on stuff that is subjective?
You can. It's funny. There was a whole there's a whole article in the NBA about this from a couple years ago, because same thing with rebounds and assists, and there was a little bit of conspiracy on what was going. Like one scorekeeper at, I can't remember what NBA arena or what NBA team, people were noticing that they were way more giving towards rebounds or assists, or for a certain player. And so people were saying, what's going on here? So to your point, yes, you can get screwed. Especially in the NBA, it happens way more where
they just cheat on everything.
So what I've seen from the NBA is that you get credit for assists if they only take 2 dribbles. So if they dribble more than twice, they take the assist away. So if he goes 1, 2, 3, and then puts it up, no assist. 1, 2, up, assist. Dead serious.
Really?
And last night you could see. Oh yeah, and then last night you could have seen.
Who's counting dribbles?
Well, this is the issue. This is why it's wrong. This is why people get screwed and upset on it quite a bit.
You could look at last night. There could have been somebody that had Aaron Judge over 1.5 or 2.5 runs, hits, and RBI. Last night Duran makes that play in left field. They considered it a hit.
That's an error. That's got to be changed to an error.
I don't know if it is today, but that would have been for the betting group. That's a hit and an RBI, and that's 2. So you would have clipped if you had 1.5. Moving on to tonight, I want to get into baseball as well, as we're kind of running against clock here. But tonight, there is a Thursday night football game. You are anti on me on this one.
Yeah,
because I love the Rams. I love the Rams 8.5.
Yeah,
because I know that you're going to have numbers of Shanahan against the spread and all that sort of stuff. There's too many guys missing in this game, in my opinion. There's too many guys in San Francisco that aren't playing this game that are pivotal guys. This isn't like a defensive tackle, a cornerback, and a quarterback. This is star tight end, number 1 wide receiver, number 2 wide receiver, number 3 wide receiver, and all these guys are important. And then it's Mac Jones. So I know Kyle Shanahan is a great coach. I give him all the credit in the world. But can he do it with this on the road, on a short week? There's a lot of odds stacked against it where I like the 8.5 for the Rams.
Yeah, so this is what we were talking before the show. This is more about me. You're way confident on the 8.5, it sounds like. I'm not betting the 49ers at plus 8.5. I'm not betting either side of the game. I'm just saying.
But you're also not betting the Rams minus 8.5.
Correct, exactly. That's what it more is for me. I'm not confident at all in the Rams covering the 8.5 as much as you are. Everything you said, I can't dispute. I mean, it's the facts are they're missing all these star players and everything. I think, though, in the NFL, you get up to 8.5, it gets a little tricky. That's all. And it is 8.5 at DraftKings. For your bet, go to FanDuel. You can get the Rams still at 7.5. Now, 7.5. It's not a key number, but still you'll take the point, right? So that'd be the only thing. If you're someone that is on your side and you believe, hey, no, the Rams are going to destroy the 49ers tonight, probably go check out FanDuel on that one because the number's better.
Right.
My only thing would be it's a short week. Yes, the Niners are traveling, but they're in California. They're not going to the East Coast.
It's an hour flight.
It's not. So that part doesn't matter. The injuries, the Niners have been without weapons all year. Tonight is the worst it's been. Mac Jones has played 2 games this year. Not an opponent like the Rams, right? It's the Arizona and the Saints.
And the Rams have a physical defense.
They do. This is by far the best defense they have faced, and the best defense Mac Jones has seen as a starting quarterback in a while. That is all true. But they've been without some of their top wide receivers all year. They were without Kittle for a couple weeks. Bosa for a couple weeks.
Without Kittle.
So The Rams are going to win the game tonight. The Rams are absolutely going to win. Survivor pools, people are going to pick the Rams if they haven't used them. A lot of people will for that. I just think 8.5 points, backdoor cover written all over. I would be nervous that late in the fourth quarter, Rams are up 14 points or something, where all people have flipped off the TV, and all of a sudden, garbage time, Mac Jones finds, I guess, MVS. Sky Moore for
let's go with Sky.
Marcus Robinson
for a touchdown.
Marcus Robinson.
It's the old Chiefs wide receiver room for Mac Jones tonight. So I get it. It's an ugly game. I mean, the 49ers it's going to be the Christian McCaffrey show, which is why the bet that I actually do like is McCaffrey over 16.5 attempts tonight, rush attempts, even money. He's carried the ball over that 3 of his 4 games this year.
I like his reception props.
Same. I think, they're going to feed him.
Go ahead. No, I was going to say, this is where the NFL seemingly always wins. The house, I should say, always wins, not the NFL, because everybody thinks this is going to be some sort of blowout. This is going to be a lot closer. I think it may be a blowout till about 4 minutes to go, and as you said, the garbage time stuff, and it's mano a mano. It's brother versus brother in this game with Shanahan against McVay. Shanahan's a hell of a coach, man. He's really done a nice job with all of these injuries to have his team where they are. They're not going to lay down tonight.
I don't think so. Now, last year when they were so banged up, they ended up finishing 1-7. So at some point you can't overcome it. I just think they've been dealing with the injuries all year. I don't think there's the big one, of course, is going to be Ricky Pearsall. That's not going to be available tonight. I think that's fair. They've been without Jawan Jennings off and on. They've been without Kittle for a couple weeks. The only thing I will say, it presents an opportunity when you have all the offensive injuries. Sometimes, as much as we talk about anytime touchdown bets, years ago you could have got Travis Kelce at 6-1 to score touchdowns and stuff. You don't see that anymore. So for a game tonight where there's a bunch of starters out for the 49ers, if you take a look at receiving props or touchdown props, there's guys way further down the depth chart that somebody's got to catch the ball for Mac Jones. They're not going to probably get shut out tonight. Somebody's going to score a touchdown. And if it's not Christian McCaffrey, well, you could go way down the board on some 49ers players. Anybody's in play.
What is Sky Moore to get a touchdown tonight?
Because there's your long shot bet.
Yeah, that's
Sky Moore is 15-1, guys. So that's my point. Is somebody probably that is way off the. Usually it's stuck with 3 or 4 guys, and it's the bet. Tonight's a night where you could take a sprinkle on some guys further down the board. Kendrick Bourne is 3.5-1. He's going to get reps tonight. Even the backup running up, Brian Robinson Jr., who they traded for from the Commanders. McCaffrey's going to carry the ball a lot, but also somebody's going to spell him.
Yeah.
Brian Robinson, 7-1.
I heard he's a sneaky play because if it is a blowout in the second half, why are you putting McCaffrey in this game, who's obviously on an injury?
And that's the other thing. If
Last
this is a blowout,
bet, guys.
McCaffrey should not be in the second half at all.
He might get a hamstring injury.
You can bet anytime touchdown, last touchdown. I mean, if the garbage time touchdown, if you think it's the scenario you brought up, for example, Brian Robinson Jr., 25-1 to score the last touchdown. So if you just take 3 minutes to go, they hand it off, Rams have their backups in. It's a sick way to bet, but it's fun too.
Yeah, it's a sick way to bet. 3-leg parlay today.
What do you got?
MLB. What are you doing?
So I don't. Oh, you have one, or you want me to have one?
I want to. I want to go. I
think the Tigers.
I think the Tigers. I think the Yankees, and I think the Padres.
So I'm on the Tigers. I actually think I thought
those are teams you want to win, or the teams you think
that's
are
what I think
going
are going to win.
Yeah. So the Tigers. I want the Red Sox to win. I don't think they are either.
Darvish going up against his old team in Chicago today.
Yeah. What about the pitcher for the Yankees? Schlittler.
Oh, you don't say the name because you're going to get fired.
No, I just said his name. That's his name.
Yeah, I know what it is, but you got to be careful when you say
Schiffler?
No, it's.
I'm not say his name. That's his name. Schittler.
Yeah,
that's his name. That's his name. I can say that.
It's Schlitt.
Yeah,
Schlittler.
Gotcha.
You not what you said. That's why I said we got to be careful here.
Just go with Cam.
Cam's I mean, you got to pause and think.
It's like when you say cities, you got to make sure you get
the
city.
Who's calling the game tonight for ESPN on that one?
I'm sure the guy with the toupee, Ravitch.
Yeah, it'll be Carl Ravitch.
We'll see how he
is. Stinky.
No, but I like the Tigers. I actually think the fact that the collapse is already over for them. To me, they're playing with way less pressure at this point. Everybody's talking how bad they were and they're crapping down their leg and all that kind of stuff. And then now they were
schlittering down their leg.
Yeah. Yes. So I actually like the Tigers quite a bit today, guys.
Who's pitching for the Red Sox tonight?
Early. That name's not as fun to say. Early.
Connolly Early.
Well, sometimes on a Saturday morning, you wake up early, you got a Schittler early.
That's the mashup, Dusty.
Who's your World Series favorite?
World Series favorite. I have the Phillies to win.
I do too. Yeah. I think they're the best team out there right now.
And I think the updated odds, the Dodgers are now the outright favorite. after their dominant.
Which, if Philly
series.
wins, that means Schwarber gets his ring, and then he finishes his career in Kansas City in right field.
No.
Okay.
No?
No,
I would.
I'm good.
You don't like Schwarb?
I think this is the last
The
hurrah.
dollar amount is going to be not my money, but the dollar amount's going to be insane.
He's kind of interesting contract, too, because if they do have a sit-out session, no one wants to give that guy a whole big contract if he's going to miss an entire year at the age that he is.
Well, and yeah, you're right. It's going to be interesting to see how free agency happens this offseason with the lockout coming. I mean, it's
27.
Yeah, because we only got one more year. Are you signing guys to long-term contracts this offseason? Or, I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see.
I'm actually
how the
surprised
owners-
nobody, Piccolo's press conference, I'm actually surprised nobody asked him about if they're already thinking about
Well,
that.
because people don't ask the right questions at press conferences.
Yeah, that's the right one about the.
Someone says, love hearing Cody cuss. Well, you'll have to wait till 10 because Cody hasn't been on this segment.
Right.
Oh, man, that's tough.
He's got new shampoo or something?
We brought it up. I asked him. Multiple people were texting in. I said, your hair looks really, really dark. And he said, really? And he said, well, I'm using new shampoo. He said, the wife bought new shampoo. I go,
Nice.
did it have
Just
coloring?
for men or something?
I think it's darker.
Well, maybe
He said it might just be long.
He
He said it might just be longer.
He might not be going outside as much either after getting stung in the lip by a wasp.
But that was a month or so ago.
I wouldn't go back outside.
Yeah. He ran over a bee nest with his lawnmower.
Yeah, well,
you
F
can't
around
do
and
that.
find out.
That's
right?
exactly right.
Yeah. Other than Dayton Hughes, what's coming up on Cody and Gold?
Yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about the number one seed convo in the AFC a little bit. I tend to think that...
Still think it's over?
It's over. I still do. We'll get into that. And then talk about Carter Jensen and looking ahead to the future and just based on some comments earlier in the week we didn't get to from Matt Quattrero and JJ Piccolo and how they're going to utilize him.
Let me drink that canned craft cocktail.
You can have it if you want it.
Okay, thank you. We appreciate it. Appreciate the
guys.
time. Take care.